Hey everyone, recently someone asked where they could buy this keychain thing that I reviewed a while ago. It's a plastic 1/3 scale Combat Master Terran Tactical TTI thing, and it's pretty neat, you know? It's the trigger will actually pull and watch the hammer. So, well, you know, it's all plastic, which is fine by me because it's lightweight, and less, it shouldn't cost as much to make, being made of plastic. I've now learned, someone left a comment, this holds like a micro SD or some sort of SD card. Okay, well anyways, unfortunately I couldn't answer the commenter in the fact that this is totally sold out. It's no longer listed on AliExpress. So molds wear out, especially, so plastic molds last longer than die-cast molds, I think. But even still, pulling who knows how many millions of pieces they made of this thing, and they just stopped production, or they're not being sold on AliExpress anymore. So well, I'm happy I have this. I bought that when I did, but it led me to AliExpress again to see what other similar guns exist. What other kind of keychain guns? So here we have a 1/3 scale 1911 in a Kimber, and it's in a desert tan kind of color. On the back, it's got some sort of Spain distribution or safety standard approval. Interesting. You notice there's a holster here, and there's some text here. And so if I read the back, this backwards, it's called Yingtu, and something keychain. Hold on. So I gotta read this backwards, but Yingtu, I can't make that out. Focusing on creating interesting keychains. Alright, so Yingtu is a keychain company, obviously, but this packaging is specifically for this gun. And this gun is actually metal, unlike this plastic one, which now leads to how heavy it is. Let's lose the key ring thing, because it's one of these crap, bad ones. It's kind of, I guess, is crap even a swear? I'm saying it's crappy. So this thing is 54 grams. I should break this off too. Oh well. This is 12 grams in that ballpark, because it still has this little cheap key-ring thing on it. So the next thing I want to know is if this is really 1/3 scale. I guess it wouldn't kill me if it wasn't, but if these are all advertising as 1/3, then it might matter, because if you have a collection, you kind of get an understanding of how big a gun is in real life. So this is 73 millimeters long, and this little, I forget what these are called. Well, this is the safety, back safety, but what this little claw, or, you know, the hammer guard, I guess. It keeps your wrist, you know, from getting all messed up. 73 millimeters. So here's the Kimber website, and if we look at this, this looks like a traditional one because it's got the two sets of serrations here. So could be a next generation, maybe. No, this has the 3-hole trigger, so it's maybe an LW or a 2-tone. I would say LW. Let's see if this thing goes anywhere. Oh, the internet's slow. Alright, brought us to this page, but these grips are a little bit more modern. It looks very much like the grips on this one, so I'm going to go product details here of this LW. Oh, I forgot they're measuring in inches here, so this can still work though. 8.7 inches. 73 millimeters is 2.87 inches. So where's my calculator? Oh, never mind. Inches is 8.7. 8.7 inches in length divided by 2.87. Yeah, it's around 1/3 for sure. It should be 3.33, but it's close enough. So it works for me. If you're a real stickler, I guess it's not 1/3, but this thing was inexpensive. This was far more inexpensive than the price I'm seeing on that website. So yeah, if you want to collect things that look like guns, obviously they're not going to fire, but I mean, $900. But I guess in the realm of a real gun, $900 to protect your life, it seems pretty okay for me. Here it is next to my Airsoft AAP01. It's supposed to be like a Glock mechanism in there. So it takes Glock magazine replicas. And the third scale, yeah, well, this is like a sci-fi gun. Lengthwise, it kind of matches up. So full scale, third scale, it's close enough, right? Alright, so anyways, looking at this side though, first we have the tan color. It's painted, as it would be probably on a real gun, maybe ceramic coated on a real one. And the first thing I want to try to do is cock it back. And yes, it will. There is a spring definitely in there forcing that forward. So that's cool. That makes me look at the front now. You'll see there is like a recess there. But I wonder if that thing's hollow. Probably not. I have a Hot Wheels axle. Yeah, something's blocking it right there. Not too deep of a recess, so you cannot convert it into a little BB shooter. You could probably take, if it was hollow, you might be able to have like the spring push out like a steel ball bearing or something like that. But yeah, you would have to drill that out if you want to actually make it shoot something. What I am liking is the multiple colors on this. You know, that barrel is like chrome steel, it looks like. And then the front sight is black, of course. I wonder if it's plastic. I cannot tell. I almost feel like this front sight is made of plastic though, just by the way it looks. And it looks like it's got maybe a little bit of a plastic what is it called? Flash from the molding process. And this side, yeah, it looks like there's like a recessed hole, right? So I don't know, something about the appearance of it makes it look like plastic to me. And I can see some glue residue there holding it in place. But I will say, it actually does have that dovetail there. Or it looks like a dovetail to me. So, okay, same with the back. That less of a dovetail, but let me focus in a little more. Could just be vertical. I think the front edge for sure is vertical. Maybe the rear is actually chamfered like a dovetail, but again, you can see the residue. I think this is the white residue of crazy glue. Yeah, the vapors there emitted from crazy glue. Alright, but if I rub down very hard, maybe that gets rid of it. Looking down the sights, let me see if I can hit focus. I cannot focus way out there. Alright, yeah, so possible these sights are made of plastic. I'm not too bothered by it, but if you're going to be throwing this around in a box of tools or other guns, they will get marred up. This one might eventually just break off entirely, so be mindful of that. The Kimber printing here is very nice. It's a tampo. It's not a decal, it's not a sticker. It's literally paint printed on, so that's cool. The ridges, serrations here for the grip, seems pretty good to me. I like that. You can see the hammer is chromed steel as well. Very cool. Alright, you can see the rails there. The sliding rails here. So that's what's keeping the top part of the gun on. And then the grip safety, it does work, and it is tied to this safety here, I believe. Now the trigger, hold on, I gotta get like just had to get something to get in there and pull the trigger. Let's see if the hammer fires. It will not, but maybe that has to do with the fact that I'm not holding the grip safety. So let me put that in here. Safety. That is crazy. That's really impressive. The safety actually works, right? Oh wait, I think I just overpowered the safety there. Yeah, alright, you can overpower the safety, but alright, well, yeah, for some reason I couldn't before, right? So, oh boy, being a third scale, I cannot actually pull that trigger with my pinky finger. Yeah. Still, it is really neat. That is definitely cool. Alright, so this little slide lock here, unfortunately this, oh, never mind, it is going to work. I thought maybe they would have want to cut that out a little bit more, but maybe that is a 1/3 scale for real. So anyways, it does catch that, so that's neat. It's like I need to create a 1/3 hand. Alright, well that's pretty cool that it actually simulates the firing process there. You'll notice though, when it did so, I almost feel like there's a gap visible there. See? That little metal piece, you can see the air passing there. But alright, this was not an expensive toy, so it's a keychain thing, so I'm actually really impressed with what's going on so far. And so the magazine, it just fell out on its own, but maybe it wasn't catching. So I assume there's something in there to hold the mag. This little spring-loaded mag release here. But will it go in on its own? Can I overcome? See, it will not go in there, but if I hit the mag release, it will. But can I pull it out? Somehow I must have accidentally hit that and the mag dropped out. So let me just first change the angle of viewing here. I'm going to do a mag release here. Yeah, that works because it's made of metal. There's a die-cast metal down here. So you have these holes to tell you how many rounds you would have it, I believe, in the real thing. And then kind of sort of barely bullet. Since that doesn't look really round and it's not painted, you know, like a brass color. Does that actually come out, I wonder? No. Yeah, well, anyways, inexpensive, so it's fine. There's some sort of pin that's probably holding this black piece in there at the bottom of the magazine. There's paint chipping off there. So, alright. So that's cool though. It does sit pretty flush there, as it should. Obviously this is the one thing that isn't realistic, having the keyring thing. But that keyring thing is, this loop is metal, it's die cast. It's probably held in by this, if that's a pin. I cannot tell. That might just be paint in a recess. Oh, but this side, definitely, that's a metal pin holding this in, I think. And actually the whole back end of the grip. Oh boy, now I'm tempted to take that apart. Well, let's continue on the outside. This is actually metal, I think. Now I'm mistaken again. Just touching it, it doesn't feel as cool as up here. So it is plastic. But it is screwed in with 2 Phillips heads. And it does have a nice texture, as you can hear. Okay. Alright, it says stainless TLE2. Well, if I'd only read this toy instead of looking at the website, we would have known, but I can't imagine it's that much off from the other one I looked on the real website. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, so you can see there's no chamber there for any sort of fake bullet to go into. Get a flashlight, try to see what's going on in there. Yeah, so that's totally closed off entirely. That makes sense. It's the old trigger mechanism. I took the magazine out. Yeah, alright. And yeah, nothing back there, of course. Alright, still pretty neat that the slide does move back and forth, so I think that's cool. You could use the magazine to pull the trigger. Alright, well, being made of metal, obviously very durable, and far more durable than that plastic one I have, and I've removed the keyring now. I mean, this still works, but I think if you went and simulated firing this, say 1,000 times, that this plastic tooth is going to just tear away that slide catch, obviously. And then somewhere inside of here, I'm sure the mechanism would break because it's, you know, that spring is being made of steel, and the rest of it being made of plastic. I'm sure something inside there would break eventually. But I don't really play with these things. This is just gonna go into a drawer later on. But this, I mean, this is a fidget tool basically. It's a keyring fidget toy, and you can just play with this for a long time. The paint will naturally chip off eventually, having all this scraping action, but yeah. So I'm wondering if this is meant to be taken apart as a feature, but I'm pushing on that quite hard and it's not. And clearly these other ones, I don't know, you definitely need to have like a punch set to take it apart. So not a quick disassembly kind of toy, and that's fine. It's really just all about the caulking action and all that stuff. That hey, I finally pulled it using my index finger. Okay, very cool though. I gotta say, it's pretty awesome. Now, I'm aware of a brand called Goat Guns. They've been around for quite a while, but I went to their website and they do have some awesome looking 1/3 scale firearms, but they're exceptionally expensive. And I live on the other side of the world, so I don't think anyone would even ship to the country I live in these things. So eventually I'll probably get one. Like, I like the fact that they have a P90 and a SCAR rifle and a gold AK-47. But I'm going to have to wait until I actually go stateside again, and I just don't know when that's going to happen. So for now, I'm just working off of things sold on AliExpress, because they're really close to where I live, and this is much cheaper than the pistols I see on that website anyhow. And it seems pretty quality. Yeah, the only thing that if you don't like it, shave this thing off, and then it'll look pretty much like a scaled miniature model, right? I guess I'll see you in the next random toy review. Thanks for watching. Bye.